You guys want to throw this through the ringer with me? Let's do it. It's Megan again with Rocky Mountain Sewing and Vacuum, and we're here with the Pfaff Creative Performance 950, which was just announced. So this machine, if you went to any of our annual tech parties in the stores, you saw me carrying this machine around because we actually were one of 10 dealers selected to do a test run on the machine and kind of throw it through the ringer, see what we liked, what things might need tweaking, and it was really fun to throw it through the ringer, let me tell you. So what I thought is we would do a video just about the sewing side of this machine, because Pfaff does make fabulous sewing machines. Over on the other side of my table, you might see a little bag that I made that's actually kind of like a leather thick canvas material that was used on the little bag. And I, of course, have to use metallic thread. I have to use metallic thread. And I cannot believe how well this machine handled that metallic thread. And I also made this little apron, which the apron was fun because I was able to do a lot of top stitching. I did a zipper, I did a buttonhole, I put this button on with the machine. So I really tried to use a whole lot of different techniques with it, and it did flawlessly throughout the entire project. But what I thought I would show you guys is a lot about the sewing side of this machine. So first, we're going to talk about setting the machine up for sewing. So of course we've got our accessory tray. It does have a nice free arm extension as well. And I actually did not put this away. It does come with the straight stitch needle plate. So I can put that straight stitch needle plate in. Helps if I do it the right way. And I love that Pfaff just makes it so it just tucks in right nice and neatly right there so you don't lose it. And then look at the inside of it. It's nice and pretty and it matches. So of course your organization might look a little differently than mine, but this is how I usually organize my tray. Mine is the flopped over foot. But I'm going to steal a bobbin because I'm going to show you guys one of my favorite ways to wind a bobbin on this machine. This machine is going to be the same kind of footprint as the Pfaff Creative Icon or the Pfaff Creative Icon 2 and the Pfaff Performance Icon. But it does have sewing and embroidery. We're going to talk about just the sewing right now. So I'll open the lid and right away you can see it's kind of got that cheat sheet guide of what all stitches are in the machine. So we've got our utility, our hand look quilting, our decorative stitches, our fun decorative techniques, which I was absolutely going crazy for, and even monograms that are built onto the machine in the sewing side. And I love that on this cheat sheet, it kind of gives me a reminder of where everything is. Mind you, it's not just these stitches that are on the lid, it's so much more. To get it set up for sewing, I can raise this up. There's my thread stand. I flick these guys up because I want to use a larger spool, and I can put that big base down, put my larger spool up here, and we can go ahead and thread. So I'm going to fly through threading really quick. I just go under, around. It's very similar to what we're used to. Bring it down, and then, are you ready? It's got an automatic needle threader. And something that I thought was really cool is that on the buttons on this machine, it's very similar to some of the other brands that we carry, because on the Creative Icon 2, the needle threader is right here. And I almost always try to press the needle up and down button. They flip-flopped it on this one so that if you have a different brand, it's in the same spot. So I'm going to go ahead and thread it. Ta-da! That was it. No fuss, no muss. It's great. But I forgot to wind my bobbin, didn't I? But don't worry. So up on the top of the machine, I can actually put the bobbin down. And what's nice is on Pfaff bobbins, they actually have the word Pfaff, so you know which way goes to the sky. But now, what I can do is I can actually take my thread through my foot, bring it up through this tiny little crevice right here, go there, wrap this around a few times. There's a little super secret cutter right there. And I can wind my bobbin. So I don't even have to unthread the machine to wind the bobbin. I love that about Pfaff, and most of their machines are able to do this. But I love how smooth and easy it is on the Creative Performance 950, so that when I am in the middle of piecing something, she tells me my bobbin ran out, then I'm not freaking out or anything. The other thing is when you do play bobbin chicken, she actually does let you keep sewing for a little while. But don't forget that that notification's on your screen, otherwise you might sew too far. But I like the fact that I can kind of tell the machine, okay, I just have like 2 more inches to go, and I can keep going. So I think I'm going to call that good. Whoop. Gonna go ahead and pull that out, and look at that perfectly wound bobbin. Beautiful. And then I'm just gonna put her in. Boop. Nice and easy. So threading the machine is not a big deal at all. It's really nice. But let's get to the point that we really care about. Let's go ahead and sew on her. So on the screen here, you can see everything is words, which is fantastic. So I can hit sewing. She's gonna think for a second, and she brings up my sewing screen. Now, I'm just gonna do a straight stitch to start, because let's be real, we all use straight stitch pretty often. And I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to go. Now, one thing I'm gonna point out, back here on the machine, it does have Pfaff's famous integrated dual transport system. So what this does is it adds feed dogs to the top of the fabric as well as the bottom to feed everything nice and evenly. So when I was doing things like multiple layers on the top stitching along this, I'd never had any of the fabric trying to outrun the other side because they all fed nice and evenly, even on that bag over there. So that's part of the reason why I chose to do some of those kind of projects with this machine, to really run it through the ringer. But as we go, I'm gonna go ahead, whoops, not take my fabric out, press go. And it even has the thread cutter. So what it just did was it tied it off, it's cutting the thread for me. It's gonna lift that presser foot up, and look how beautiful she sews. And let's be real, whoop, open it up and that seam is perfect. Yay! Along with that, I can do so many different things on here. I've got over edging stitches, or overcast, buttonholes, eyelets and darning, and that's just in category 1. I can go all the way over up to category 9. So they have lots of extras on this machine. Category 8 is going to be the Pfaff exclusive techniques. So we've got the ribbon stitches all the way up to triple ribbon stitches. We have the stacking stitches, floating stitches, radiant stitches, and even the lace edge stitches. So the creativity you have on this machine is pretty much endless, and I love that. And in category 9, I love the fact that we actually have, in point 2, the 4-way stitches. So I can actually tell the machine to sew in whichever direction I need to, which makes it so much easier when you're trying to do a tricky point on, I always think of Velcro, because we always try to put it in the weirdest spot, or that sort of thing. So it's really nice if you have like a bag or a child's costume around this time of year that's really hard to manipulate. You're able to tell the machine to sew a different direction. But let's get to some of the fun stuff. I'm gonna go ahead, let's switch to section, I don't know, let's do 7. And we're gonna do a monogramming stitch. So there's 2 different monogramming fonts on here, which are very pretty. And then of course, I'm gonna do M for Megan, because I'm Megan. And then I always put a little piece of stabilizer behind a piece of fabric whenever I want to do a decorative stitch. It just kind of helps give it a little bit of oomph. And then I'm going to go here, and I want to point out on the top of the screen, it gives me little helpful hints and tips of what's going to make my stitch look the best. So right now it's telling me number 8, which I do not have on my machine. So I'm going to switch that. I know it doesn't take the dual feed because I know it's not open in the back, so I disengage that. And then, whoops, clip it into place. Along with this cheat sheet here, if I press that down arrow, it's going to give me the words to tell me exactly what it's asking for. So number 8 foot, the stabilizer, what stitch number, that's the one, what stitch number we've got, and then what active features I have on. So needle down is something I do all the time, so the machine will always stop with the needle down. And I love whenever I turn this machine off, it'll remember that. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to just press go. And away she goes with our monogram. The other thing that's neat is the size of the design that's on the screen is going to be the size that it stitches out. So I'll show you guys that once it's done here. Note how I'm not even touching it too. that's how well she feeds this kind of stitching, which is really great. So this monogram is something called a maxi stitch, so it's bigger than the presser foot. I'm gonna go ahead and hit cut. And I just realized I did purple on purple, but look how pretty that is. Didn't that turn out beautiful? So I'm gonna bring it over to the machine so you guys can see that it turns out that same exact size. Whoops, unless I touch the screen. Whoop. So pretty nice, right? So I can kind of plan out exactly what I'm doing every single time. I'm gonna switch to another decorative stitch really quick. Whoop. Let's go ahead. Oh, there's some fun things in number 6. So, as you all probably know by this point, I have a little boy who has been obsessed with animals and all sorts, like cheetahs. So I'm going to pick this little design that to me looks kind of like a cheetah, and then I'm going to go ahead and sew. So I'm going to have it start working on another one and then do something that I think is really nice that Pfaff does on this guy. Did not realize how long these guys were. Should have looked at the screen. But I can press my cut button and you'll notice it's not going to cut right away. The reason for that is because when you're doing a decorative stitch, a lot of the time you want to finish that full stitch before it cuts off, because if I did half a cheetah, it'd be a little interesting. So right now what it's going to do is it's going to do the whole cheetah and then tie it off. Give it a cut. And there we go. So it turned out absolutely gorgeous. To me, it's incredible that on these satin stitches you can even see the eyeballs. It's really fun. So what I would recommend is stop by one of our 4 stores and give these guys a test drive, because they're really, really fantastic machines. If you're looking for a machine that does awesome sewing, beautiful embroidery, and is something that has something like a dual feed function, the Pfaff Creative Performance 950 is going to be an awesome option for you. Thanks so much for joining me for this video, and make sure you watch our other videos about the Pfaff Creative Performance 950, because we're so excited to finally tell you guys about it. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time. Hey guys, here at Rocky Mountain Sewing and Vacuum, we always like to make sewing fun start here. And so we appreciate you watching this video. If you want to see more like it, check out this playlist. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you know what is happening here. So we'll see you guys next time.